Hey sis, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt alone? Maybe anxious, or maybe like you just wish you could find a good group of women who loved the Lord. Do you want a safe place to talk about all of the real life challenges, life as a working mom, stay-at-home mom, entrepreneur, or simply just raising your kids in today's world? Do you want to grow deeper in your marriage, to find out your true identity and whose you truly are, to know your calling, your purpose, and overall grow intentionally with Jesus? Then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Gather the Gals, a podcast and ministry created for you, the everyday woman and mom, for all of my gals who want to know their voice matters, their story matters, who want to have a place to feel loved, supported, and encouraged, to find joy in Jesus and not this world, to leave the lies of the enemy behind. Then welcome. Our motto around here is we keep it raw and real, girl, knowing that we have been redeemed. We aren't perfect, but we have a Savior who is. And you, my sweet, sweet friend, are welcome to come as you are. Now let's chat on all the things. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Gather the Gals. I'm your host, Lyncon, and we are back talking on part 2 of our last week episode, 3 ways to improve your business and start making money from home today. We covered all about point 1 in last week's episode, and we're moving on to point 2. So if you missed it, go back and listen to part 1 of that episode on how to get clear on what you were called to do or create or to start. And number 2 is start with 1 offer and not 10. I can't tell you how bad I was at this when I first started. I loved to create. And when Canva came out, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. I love to create. Now, I don't know if I was very good at it, but I loved to do it. And so I would just create all these things and then I would be like, okay, cool. And make another one. But it's like, I would do nothing with it. I would just let it sit in my little Canva template section or whatever. And so I just want you to know that simple sells. Confused minds don't buy. So number 1, I just want you to understand that simple things work too. If you spend all your time and all your money and you make this beautiful thing and then you put it out there and like people are just totally confused about what you're even trying to do, people aren't going to buy that from you. So just start with something simple. Start with what I think the best thing to do is they call them lead magnets, right? So start with the lead magnet, and we will get into all of this because for those of you who may not understand what that means or haven't even started a business, you may be like, what in the world is a lead magnet? Don't worry. I was totally there, had no idea, had to look all the things up. And so my number 1 goal is to start with something simple. Make a document that provides value. So whenever you found your clarity on what it is that you're actually called to do, the gifts that God gave you, once you write that stuff down and get that on paper, now start to see, okay, my passions, my joys, how I help people, how do I serve people? And again, we went over all of this in last week's episode. So go back and listen to that one first and then come back to this one. But once you get all of that journal down, then you take all of those ideas and you put them into a document. And that is the thing that is going to provide value or clarity or some sort of comfort for someone else. So you have to think about, okay, I'm good at this. I helped my own self or whatever with this. I'm going to put it all into a document. And that is going to be what I either, number 1, sell first, or number 2 is your lead magnet. And your lead magnet is something that you give away that is full of value for free. So one of my favorite things that I started with a while back was an anxiety guide. Anxiety was our very first or maybe second episode that we ever did on the podcast. And it was like the biggest hit. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, anxiety. I am so anxious. And we were like, yeah, us too. Like, that's why we're literally recording this, right? And so it still is to this day one of our number 1 like topics that people want to hear about is anxiety. And so that was my little my thing that I gave away for free. So I created this template that was all about anxiety, how to deal with it, what to do, where to go in the scripture, and I gave it away for free. And not only does that obviously, like, that's great. Like, if you're giving away something for free, like, that's amazing, right? It may not feel amazing if you're like, okay, like, I really need to start making money here. But hear me out. Whenever you're giving something of value, people like that. You're building a relationship to like with those people and they trust you. And that's the thing, y'all. It's like you don't want to come across salesy. No one wants to go into a car dealership and hear these people saying all these things about these cars, right? Like we all hate car shopping. We may not all hate buying a new car. I do. I'm like, nope, I don't want a car payment, all the things, right? But we all know that feeling when you're going into a car dealership and you're like, gosh, I just don't want to be here. We all know that, right? So don't come across salesy. Hey, friend, before we dive back into the show, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for listening and supporting Gather the Gals podcast and ministry. Your monthly support means so much to me. You have no idea how much it helps grow this ministry. This ministry exists to help women all over the world grow in God's word. And because of your support, we are able to offer free Bible studies, devotionals, and encouragement to women around the world who need it most. If this podcast has blessed you, would you consider giving or becoming a monthly supporter? Every dollar helps us reach more women who need the hope of Jesus. You can find the link in the show notes to be a monthly supporter of Gather the Gals podcast and ministry. Thank you so much for being a part of everything God is doing here.
If you have ever felt that tug for more freedom, to stay home with your babies, to use the gifts that God has given you to pour into something meaningful, maybe like starting your own business or maybe even your own podcast or ministry, I want to share something that's truly been a game changer for me. I know what it's like to try all of the things. Y'all, I can't tell you how many websites, platforms, and all of these different things that I've tried and honestly struggled with. I have put money into things without little to no return. And honestly, y'all, it was just frustrating. But whenever I found With Me, it changed everything. With Me is a platform where I run everything, my podcast and my ministry. It's one single stress-free place. And the difference, y'all, is their customer service is outstanding. They don't just treat you like another number. They make you feel like you are part of their family. And as a mom, that truly mattered to me. Here's the best part. I have a special referral link for you. And for the first 10 people who use the referral link in the show notes, when you start your free trial with Me, I will personally hop on a call with you to brainstorm everything on how you can use your God-given gifts to step into your God-given calling. Whether that's a new business, a product, an idea, launching your first podcast, ministry, or anything else that comes to mind right now as you're hearing this message. So not only do you get this amazing platform, but you also get me walking alongside you as you dream and build. If you know anything about me, you know that I am so passionate about helping women step into their God-given calling. God has given us all unique gifts, and this is something that I wish more women and moms would understand. If you've listened to the podcast, you know how bad I wanted to stay home with my babies. I was a pediatric nurse and I was working 12 to 14 to 16-hour shifts, missing so many opportunities with my own kids. I wanted a change, and I knew I had to make a change in order to be home with my babies and figure out how to make money from home. So if you want more accountability, more support, encouragement, prayer, and just to simply brainstorm and come up with something beautiful together, help you take that next step with a global audience that is willing and ready to support you on your mission to God's glory. So sister, if your heart has been longing for more freedom, time with your kids, how to make money for home, and if you're ready to stop waiting and start building what God has put inside you, click the link in the show notes, start your free trial today, and let's dream this up together.
It is not about selling. And I understand you're going to say, well, I need to make a living. And I totally hear you on that. But if you can flip that mindset and just say, okay, I know that I serve a good God. I know that He is my provider, and I know that He gave me these gifts, and I want to use these gifts to serve other people. And when you come across as I am serving you, I just truly want to help you. I am obviously have kids and a family and have to put food on my own table. It comes across in such a more beautiful, authentic way. Because I have struggled with this, and I still struggle with this, y'all. Um, I mean, my gosh, like for the past 2 years that I've done this podcast, there's been times where I've literally made like zero, like absolutely nothing. And still to this day, I give away so much stuff for free. I know that money can be such a weird topic to talk about, especially if you do run a Christian company or whatever the case may be. But you have to understand that you also have a family to provide, and God gave you these gifts just as if for me, he gave me the gift of wanting to be a nurse, of loving people, of helping people. I'm using that and making money where I work in the hospital. So it is no different than you wanting to be your own boss and set your own schedule and be with your babies at home and yet still bring in an income. You have to understand that, because it has taken me so long to understand that, hey, that's actually okay. It's actually okay that you don't want to waste all your time working for someone else, taking your babies to daycare, paying them outrageous amounts only to bring home maybe half of your actual salary because everything went to other people or daycare or whatever. It took me so long to understand that, like, hey, it's okay. It's okay that he also gave us these gifts that we're capable. Like, he gave us brains to use, right? He gave us our hands to work hard with. And that is the thing, is when you do figure out what you love to do and you're finally ready to turn that passion or that hobby into a business to bring money home for your family that's gonna provide and put food on your table, then go after it, sister. That is something that it's not talked a lot about. Like, we almost try to run these businesses or whatever behind the scenes, or we brush it under the table, or we say, oh, it's not really a business. It's just this little thing I do on the side. No, sister, call it what it is. Be confident, because your caller, Jesus Christ, is the one who gave you those things, right? And he called you to it, and you need to stand up and be obedient to him and let your yes be yes and your no be no. So if you are calling this what it is and you are running a business, or you're needing to start a business, because like we've already addressed, y'all, it is expensive out there and we have needs. We have to feed our family, right? We have to pay our mortgage. We have to pay our car payment, whatever your case is. Maybe you just got laid off of your job and you're like, I have no idea what to do right now. It is one of the easiest things that you can do to start making money from home today. We live in a world where it's possible. Anybody can do it. We all are so gifted, yet we're not using our brains and using the gifts that God gave us uniquely. And we're so worried and busy on comparing ourselves or waiting until it's the right time. It is never going to be the right time. I waited and waited for literally like a decade. Now, mind you, I didn't really know for sure what God was wanting or calling me in to do. But I waited so long to finally start this. And it kind of got to the point where, and y'all know the story if you've followed and listened to the podcast, but it got to the point where God was so clear and it was so evident to me of what he actually wanted me to do, that I literally came in here and jumped on and hit record. Like, there was nothing fancy behind it. I didn't even have a microphone. I'm pretty sure, I don't even know. I was thinking we might have even used like those old earbuds that like come with old iPhones, like the wired ones and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what I think I used those to even start. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that in that moment it was different than all the other times that I felt like I was trying to start something. It's like this time it came from God. The other times it came from me. It was out of my own selfish desires of what I thought I wanted. And I had to have everything perfect and pretty, and this time it was not. It was so different. It was like God called me into this. I heard him and I was finally ready to just say, yes, okay, let's go. And I started and figured everything else out on the way. And it hasn't been pretty and easy. Like, I'm literally still recording in my bedroom. Like, there's nothing fancy about my setup at all. It's just about showing up and saying yes. And when you say yes to God, he makes the way. So go back to what I said at the beginning. Start with one offer and not 10. Simple sells and confused minds don't buy. Don't try to launch this big course, a shop, a podcast, a coaching biz, a boutique, all of these things. Don't try to just do it all at once. Focus on one step. Just like how in the Bible, he talks about, don't worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Focus on today. Focus on one thing. Focus on solving one problem for one person with one offer. So for example, you could even do, if you're like me and you love to create, you can go into Canva right now and make a digital download. It's free. You literally can use your skills and create something really cool. And that's how you could start with your lead magnet, or you could start with selling something for, I don't know, $2, $3, $5, $10, $20, however much you think goes into the time that you made or whatever it is, whether it's a devotional, a planner, a book, children's coloring books, PDF guides, whatever you're good at, you can make a digital download for that. That is how easy it is, y'all. You can literally do anything in Canva. And that is what I would encourage you to do to start with, is once you figure it out, what you're good at, what God's called you to do, and you've journaled it all out, go into Canva if you like to create. If you don't like to create, maybe that's not for you. That's totally okay. But write it down. Get a document of something that is, you can literally print out, that you made, that you can be proud of. Or like I said, digital downloads. Those are amazing. You don't have to pay anything. It's completely free for you to do. You can join Canva for free, y'all. You don't have to get the upgraded version. That's totally not necessary. And so you can start your business for free today. And you can even use the company that I use to host like all of my stuff. I'll drop the link in the show notes. I'm pretty sure you get, I don't know if it's a week or 2 weeks free. I think it's 2 weeks free that you get. You can literally start it totally free, go into Canva, create your PDF or digital download, whatever you want, download it, upload it into your new little website app thing that I will get you the link for free for 2 weeks, and see if you make a sale. Like, it is that easy to start, y'all. And so I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to start your own. You can literally do anything, y'all. You can be a virtual assistant. You can be good at emailing, social media marketing, copywriting. Maybe you're really good at parenting tips. Maybe you want to start like a prayer devotional card. Maybe you just love to do workouts. Maybe you are really good at math or accounting or home organization. I mean, we are all so gifted. It's just we're not using and acting on those gifts. So I want you to start small, but then that's when the fun starts, is then you get to surrender it all. You get to surrender it all to Jesus and allow him to move. Pray over your business. Pray over this document. Pray over the people who you are wanting to serve, and show up with faith. Okay, now moving on to point number 3 is to show up with consistency and faith. Faithfulness is always going to beat fame. You can get on Instagram and you can see all these people with all this following, all these influencers and all the things, right? But I promise you, your faith is going to beat it every time. And I know on paper, it may not make sense, because you're probably sitting here saying, as I did too, there are people out there who are making a bunch of money on Instagram, on YouTube, on whatever it is. They're talking about crazy stuff, or they're posting crazy content, or whatever the case may be. And that is totally fine. Like, to each their own. It's totally okay to do that, right? But when you believe in the content that you post, when you believe in the gifts that God gave you and the business that he called you to start, the product that you came up with, the boutique clothes that you sell, the jewelry that you make, the math tutoring, that business that you've started, when you believe in that, that comes across to your audience, that comes across to your buyers, that comes across to your community. Keep showing up, because it has already been blessed by Jesus. When he has already called you into this before you were born, he has already put these ideas, these gifts, everything he's given to you, he's already equipped you with. So show up, because you know that you are doing kingdom work. You're not trying to make a way in this world. And I know that it can be hard, because when you do start to see followers or money made or whatever the case may be, we have to do humble heart checks all the time, right? We have to make sure that we are giving to Jesus, like making sure that it is his business and not our own. This is all for him and his glory and his kingdom, and not this world. So I want you to, once you have your thing that you want to do, maybe you've created your PDF guide, or you've created the cute shirt that you want to sell, or the piece of jewelry, or whatever it is. You have the idea, and now you're on to step 2, and now I want you to create the content. And I know a lot of people may not want to be on social media, and that's totally okay. But we do live in a day and age of social media, and you can either use it as a blessing or as a curse. And so honestly, y'all, one of the biggest things and advice that I would give to you is don't sit there on social media and scroll. Follow the people who you want to follow, who give you encouragement, who help you grow, who give you support, and unfollow the girls who you find yourself comparing to. Unfollow the ones who you sit there and you just get caught in the anxious trap of scrolling and anxiety and mom guilt and shame. Unfollow them. There's no reason that you need to be following people who are going to bring you down. Follow the ones who are going to bring you up, and understand that you can do this too, that you can go after your dream, that God gave you these gifts uniquely to you, and you can do the thing. You can start the business. So follow the ones who are going to bring encouragement to you. So when you create your social media, whether you already have one or not, personally, I didn't go in depth of really trying to make it pretty and pleasing and all the things. If you start too fast, too soon, you're going to get burnout. You're going to get overwhelmed. A lot of people will tell you to pick one account. So pick Instagram, pick TikTok, pick Facebook, pick whatever your thing is. I never did TikTok before I started Gather the Gals. I was only on Instagram, and Instagram is just, you're going to grow your more loyal followers on Instagram versus TikTok. You may grow with people who may or may not resonate with you, or may or may not believe in the stuff that you are saying. They may like one video and follow you from that. Whereas Instagram, it's like you almost have to like prove yourself before somebody follows you. So you may grow faster. And I've seen that in my own case too, just with TikTok. Like I grew faster on TikTok than Instagram, but Instagram is where it's like your more loyal friends. It's almost like your friend group, like your tight, close friend group. And TikTok is more of everybody else, I guess. And this is just my opinion, how it happened for me, but it could happen totally different for you. And so if you are already on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, stick with one and try to just be consistent there. But also too, there are great ways that you can post to multiple channels all at once. And that is the biggest thing that I would tell you to do, is don't get so caught up in creating all this perfect content. It's never going to be perfect content. It's never going to resonate with everybody. And somebody's always probably going to get mad about it. So you do have to have some pretty thick skin. I've had some really mean comments before, and you just have to brush them off. And yeah, we're human. We're going to dwell on it because words do hurt us. But just know your reason. Go back to that of like, why I'm doing this, who am I serving, and let the other stuff brush off. And so I do recommend finding a app or a website or something that you can post. So like what I do is I batch all my content. And so for maybe on a Sunday or a Saturday or Monday or whatever, then I will go through and schedule everything out. And so I schedule it all. It randomly posts. So it's not like I'm literally on my phone every day just posting, trying to figure out content, because I've tried that and it gets super overwhelming. And then I end up getting mad and not posting and not ghost. I'm just like, not doing it. So this is what I have found that has helped me tremendously. And so just be consistent. Pick something that you are okay to be consistent with. If people are telling you to post 10 times a day, that's not realistic. Like, let's be real here. A lot of us are moms or whatever the case, or a lot of us maybe still have our 9-to-5 jobs and we're trying to figure out how to make money from home on the side so that we can one day go away from our 9-to-5 jobs and be able to do the business from home, or whatever the case may be. So just understand that, like, you don't have to do what everybody's telling you to do. You have every right to grow at your own speed and to do it how you want to do it. And so pick what is realistic for you, whether that's posting once a day, twice a week, 3 times a week, whatever it is. Figure out what works for you and just be consistent with that. And you'll see the right people come to know you, and you'll attract the right followers, if that makes sense. So just know that you don't need 1 million followers to start. All you need, y'all, is a surrendered heart. and a step of faith that you are ready to say yes. God is not asking you to be perfect. He's asking for your yes. He's asking for you to be obedient. And he gave you these gifts to use, to minister, to serve his people. And people need to see that. And that's the other thing. It's like, you don't have to make money if you don't want to. I started out for the longest time. I didn't want to make anything because it just felt weird to me, I guess. And but then I realized how much time I was actually putting into this and how much I loved it, how much I was like, okay, I needed this help. I didn't know where to start or how to start or what to do. I just knew that God was calling me into something. And it was in that moment that I was like, man, if I had a mentor, if I had somebody that could help me get started, help me understand this, pray over me, encourage me, instead of like, I would go to people and they would just blow me off, ghost me, tell me, oh, it's going to cost you this much or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's not about that. It's not about competing with you. It's about using your gifts to serve Jesus and to grow his kingdom, to bring other people to know Jesus with the gifts that he gave you. And I just truly believe that so many of us are not using our gifts. And a lot of us, maybe we don't even know that we have certain gifts, because a lot of that does come from community, from the people that you surround yourself with. Those are the people who bring out these beautiful gifts that God gave you. And so that is one of the main reasons that I did finally start the Gather the Gals community. So we have a completely free version that you can do Bible studies with us all day long. And it's still me creating all these Bible studies, putting all this content in the free version. And the other side is $8.99. And it's literally for me helping you figure out how to grow your business, figuring out what are you good at. So we walk through, I have a course that's well over $100 in there. It's like, I don't know, 10 or 11 exclusive video podcast episodes. There's like 10 different guides and documents and Bible studies and all sorts of stuff. So I put a ton of time into this course because I am so passionate about it. I want to help you figure out what it is that you're good at. I want to help you be able to stay home with your kids and not have to worry about going to work and dropping them off at daycare and you crying on the way to work, because I have been there and I hated it. I was like, there has got to be another way that I can hold my babies at home while they're little and choose to work when I want to work. And that is the thing that I wish everybody could see. It's like, you have so many beautiful gifts. And when we encourage each other to step into that role that God gave us, that calling on our life, that gift that he gave us, and we use the gifts that he gave us uniquely to make a difference, to serve people, that is when beautiful things happen. It's not about competing and comparing. It's about coming together and supporting each other and watching your sisters succeed. We should want our sisters in Christ to succeed. We should want good things for them. We should want to keep our eyes on Jesus and run our own race and watch them run their race so beautifully. And so if that is you, and you need help to finally do the thing, to finally go after the dream, to finally start the business, or maybe you're like, I wish I had something. I wish I could do that, but I have no idea what I'm good at. I got you. That is also in the community. I walk you through, what are your gifts? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your passions? What do you like to do? We figure this out together. I go into depth about how to make money from home. We also give you the mic and give you the opportunity to run webinars, to run trainings and teachings. To me, y'all are the experts on your topics. I don't want to learn all this new stuff, y'all. I'm like, if you are a great chiropractor and you can tell us all the things that go into chiropractor or whatever, and you want to sit here and tell the audience, go for it. I would absolutely love that. If you are a lactation consultant and you are like, I just love to teach new mamas how to breastfeed, because sister, I've been there, and my first baby, I had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, who teaches you this? And how do you even know? This was back in 2018. And so I'm like, yeah, if I could come into a community and click a little link on new mom section and go into the lactation, and she is teaching me all this stuff. And then I'm like, she is amazing. I want to buy her product. Or I want to go to her coaching or training. And then there you go. Like, you just promoted yourself and gained a customer or whatever. That is what I'm about. I'm about helping grow you and your small business. And so if you do have a small business and you want to come into the community and do a training, share your story, be on the podcast, whatever you want to do, it's free game to do that. I love to support women's small businesses because I know how hard you work and I know the tears that you've cried. And I know that it's your baby. Like, you love this small business and that we want to believe in it just like you believe in it. And so with all that to be said, I will drop everything down in the show notes and I'll put all the links in there. And I'm so excited to keep going with these episodes about just how to grow a Christian faith-based business. Or at least with values, with the Christian values, how to grow it in today's world, because A, it's needed. B, it's expensive out there. And C, people need to hear your story, your voice, and see your passions and see your beautiful business. Thanks for gathering with me today. I hope you leave feeling a little more loved, a little closer to Jesus, and overall know that you matter. Life can be hard, but when we gather together, it makes it a little more sweet. I would love for you to subscribe to the podcast and find me on social media. We'll chat soon, sis.